Hey everyone, I'm Princess Link, and welcome back to Metal Gear Solid 4. Wait, it's just Metal Gear Solid Guns of the Patriots. There's no 4 on here. Okay, first of all, I need a curtain. That's the thing. I need curtains. Chapter 4. From the skies above the abandoned city, the giant bird-like sliders, part tactical strike bombers, part mobile advertisements, tirelessly blasted out their promotional messages. We hope you'll consider the Praying Mantis solution for all your future combat needs. Staying out of sight of PMC and militia ground forces was no longer enough for Snake. Now he had to watch the skies. Carefully, he made his way toward the location Meryl gave him. The closer he advanced, the thicker the PMC patrols became. Before long, the passing of armored vehicles became frequent. The PMC headquarters must have been larger and more fortified than we'd anticipated. Snake made a few adjustments on his muscle suit and enabled its camouflage. He'd need more than his own stealth to get any further. The Octocamo system scanned Snake's surroundings and copied them across its surface. The Octocamo couldn't make Snake completely invisible like the Mike II's stealth camouflage, but much like an octopus's natural camouflage, the suit could read the surfaces around Snake and perfectly emulate them, providing Snake the edge he needed to stay out of sight. The PMC stronghold was located in what used to be the city's administration complex. The building, a boxy structure surrounded by a sizable wall, looked like what you'd expect from a government office, a healthy mix of authoritarianism and austerity. Easy to defend and hard to assault, the complex even contained a generously sized parking lot. All in all, the facility was well suited for military purposes. Snake went prone upon the gravel, and his camouflage shifted to blend in. Slowly, he crawled through the open streets like an inchworm. Oh my god. The area outside the base provided no cover, but Snake, utilizing Native American tracking techniques, gave the soldiers nothing to see and nothing to hear. Of course, the Octocamo was a major factor of his success, but Snake's sense of his connection with the world around him was even more crucial. He was a part of his surroundings, a part of the world. By closely matching himself in with that baseline, he could be more stealthy than what might seem possible. With his senses attuned to the environment around him, Snake easily got inside the wall. Inside, neat rows of tents and transport vehicles provided better cover than outside the complex. This clearly was a command post. Soldiers busily went about their duties, and compared to the patrols outside, they were far less alert. It was always dark below the lighthouse, Snake knew. The soldiers inside shouted at each other instead of using the wireless, providing a level of background noise sufficient that Snake didn't even have to worry about keeping quiet. Wait. A canine VTOL craft flew overhead with a thunderous noise. Snake's attention was drawn skyward, and then he saw the lone man standing on the roof. A man with long gray hair, even with sunglasses. Even with sunglasses on, his face was unmistakable. The man once known as Revolver Ocelot, now known as Liquid Snake. But what should he be called, really? At the Manhattan incident, he'd called himself Liquid. The right arm, transplanted into another's body, awakened. Was that even possible? There had to be a better explanation. When he confronted Ocelot in the sinking tanker off the coast of Manhattan, Snake had felt Liquid's presence in the man. After the events at Shadow Moses and the spreading of Metal Gear technology throughout the world, Snake and I founded Philanthropy, an anti-Metal Gear organization. We monitored nuclear powers for any signs they were developing new Metal Gears. After receiving intel that the U.S. Marine Corps was smuggling an anti-Metal Gear Ray inside a decoy oil tanker, Snake intercepted and infiltrated the ship in the Hudson Bay. He intended to get photographic evidence of the Metal Gear, which I would then leak to the internet and reveal their secret to the world. We were beaten to the weapon by Russian mercenaries intent on stealing it for themselves. The group was led by Colonel Sergei Gulukovich, former head of the Spetsnaz GRU and the father of Olga Gulukovich, making him Sonny's grandfather. Sergei successfully seized the tanker. Sorry, thinking about Spider-Man again. You know, like you do. I mean, Kraven's real name is Sergei, man. Whatever. Anyway, Sergei successfully seized the tanker, but lost his life when he was betrayed by a member of his forces. Betrayal might not be the right word, because Ocelot, who'd escaped Shadow Moses and left Foxhound, had only joined Sergei to spy on behalf of the Patriots. That's how our paths crossed with him once more. There's something in my eye. Jesus Christ. Ugh. There, as Ocelot's explosives steered the ship, Snake saw Ocelot the man cease to exist. He turned into an actual Ocelot. No kid. Oh my god. I love Ocelots. They're so cute. I mean, I love, like, most animals, honestly. Though Ocelot struggled to resist the transplanted radime, in the end, Liquid took complete control of his body. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. Okay, wait. The man who stole Metal Gear Ray and successfully escaped the sinking vessel wasn't any more, if not Liquid Snake. Anyone. Okay. I misread that. Anyone, if not Liquid Snake. 2 years later, when the president was kidnapped and we faced Ocelot again, Liquid had taken full control. The man was both Liquid Snake and Revolver Ocelot. And now that man, unmistakably, stood atop the government building. I knew it! Meryl's voice came over Snake's cochlear implant radio. He dropped to one knee and quickly scanned the area for his squad, spotting them within cover in a concealed corner of the complex. Snake, you're here to kill Liquid, aren't you? That's the mission. Are you gonna stop me? My mission, Meryl said, is to inspect the PMCs. I'm not in a position to take action. All I can do is stand by and watch. Whether by her own decision or orders from ISOC, this was a tacit consent, I can't read, from the U.S. Army. I can't help you, she said. Understand? I'm a peacekeeper, here to keep order. Understood. Snake cut the transmission and gave Meryl a small wave. She hesitated, dropping her eyes for a moment, then motioned her unit to move on. Liquid seemed to be talking over his wireless. He was positioned where he could look down over the courtyard, where his employees, the PMC soldiers, were going about their various duties, transporting equipment and forming ranks. Even Snake would, likely not have been able to cut through their messes, but he could at least move a little closer to where he could better observe Liquid. Snake stood and carefully advanced. Then the world fell apart. His chest felt like it was being crushed. Blinking, breathing, every act of simply staying alive felt an avalanche of pain cascading upon him. He felt like his thoughts and awareness and everything that made up his consciousness were completely shut off from himself. He had only made it a single step forward, and from there he could no longer move. Snake's very steps told the story. So this is how it is. My end has come. Old age has brought an end to my tired life. Is this as far as I go? Is this really it? Snake struggled to regain his consciousness. He fought against the crumbling world with everything he had. At the edges of his awareness, the other soldiers shared in the agony. They were all around him, some convulsing on the ground, others frothing at the mouth, a few shitting themselves uncontrollably. Oh my god. Uncontrollable! And so on, and on and on. Let's press on and on and on. Snake looked for Meryl's squad. Ed, Jonathan, and Meryl had collapsed with their hands clutched at their heads. Only Akiba seemed unaffected, helplessly watching his comrades suffer. Snake gritted his teeth. "It's not over. I can't fall here. Not yet," he told himself. "I cannot leave my fate, my curse, to Meryl and Sunny's generation. After I finish what I must, then I will happily die. But not now. I still must fight." He's so dramatic. With a voiceless roar, he lifted his operator and stumbled into the courtyard. He pushed his way through the throngs of writhing and flailing soldiers. He fought against waves of overwhelming nausea. With saliva streaming from his mouth, he closed in on Liquid. Suddenly, Liquid pointed straight at him. Snake froze as if pierced straight through. Liquid gazed down upon the courtyard in chaos and boomed, "Brother, it's been too long!" "Liquid!" Liquid spread his arms in a theatrical motion. "Rejoice, we're not copies of our father after all!" Snake could no longer focus his vision, and now Liquid appeared as two blurry forms. Snake's heart pounded, the palpitations threatening to burst his heart and arteries. With each beat, pain shot through his heart and his body. Liquid pointed his right arm at the sun. "We are freed from the shackles of destiny! Let the shackles be released!" He spoke as if he were pronouncing his victory over Big Boss, fate, and the world. The passage of fate. Boy. "Snake, brother! We are free!" Something within Snake had been defeated. His legs refused to hold up his body. His knees hit the ground. His body submitted to the pain. Liquid was still shouting. That's all he does. "I've surpassed my own creator!" I don't know what that was. Snake collapsed to the earth. Even then, he tried to lift his operator and aim at Liquid, but he could no longer distinguish which blurry shape represented the man. Then a pair of feminine legs walked into his vision. The legs moved in steady footsteps. Their owner apparently not afflicted by the chaos that struck Snake and the PMC soldiers. One step at a time, the legs approached Snake. "It's a Mimi Cutie," or whatever they're called. From Kid Icarus Uprising? Boy, I need to finish that actually. I do need to finish that. Wait, I lost my place. The world was silent, save for his own breathing. All seemed distant, dreamlike. I'm still in a dream. A familiar voice cut through the haze. "Snake," the voice said. Snake realized that he knew her. He'd killed her brother, his old comrade. Snake had first crippled him in Zanzibar land and stood by and watched him die on Shadow Moses. He was given the code name Fox, Foxhound's highest honor. He was Big Boss's ally, Grey Fox. Fox's sister took a syringe out of her coat pocket and slowly injected it into her neck. She was Naomi Hunter, the creator of Fox Die. Snake muttered, "Naomi!" But he couldn't tell if he had actually been able to voice the word or not. His consciousness was slowly fading. Okay, what happened here? What the frick? Anyway, Naomi discarded the empty syringe and turned her back. "Snake, if you don't want to be a prisoner of your fate, then go. We'll fulfill your destiny. Like, I'm sorry, what? Dude, destiny and fate are the same freaking thing. Like, if you don't want to be a prisoner of fate, then go be a prisoner of fate. Like, what? What are you talking about, Naomi? Snake reached out for her, but pain shot through the straining muscles in his arm and chest, and he collapsed again. By the time he could look up, she was gone. On the roof of the building, Liquid was boarding a transport helicopter with Naomi already seated inside. Liquid removed his sunglasses and looked down at Snake with naked eyes. What? His face might have belonged to Revolver Ocelot, but the resentment festering within those eyes was all Liquid. Liquid flashed a smile and got in the aircraft. Snake found his life flashing before his eyes. "It's not just a saying," he told me later. "It really does happen." In one instant, he saw with complete clarity the events of his life. He began to slip beyond the planes of consciousness. Iraqi heat when he was a Green Beret disabling Scud missiles in the Gulf War. His infiltration of Outer Heaven, his first mission with Foxhound. When he'd grown tired of war and moved to Canada and was forced back into service to respond to the disturbance in Zanzibar land. Shadow Moses, where he first met his brother Liquid. Now, according to Metal Gear 2 something, I think the Metal Gear 2 manual, Snake lived in Canada in between Metal Gear 1 and 2, which I always assumed just ended up getting retcon and him living in Alaska. So, like, yeah, oh my god. I did request a mail-in ballot, and I got an email saying that I was coming, so what are you talking about? Anyway. Shadow Moses, where he first met his brother Liquid. The tanker in the Hudson Bay he boarded on behalf of his anti-Metal Gear NGO. When he snuck aboard the Big Shell facility, home to the terrorist organization Dead Cell, led by his second brother, Solidus. This freaking family, man. Like, literally, just go to therapy. Stop being... Literally... If Big Boss just went to freaking therapy, then none of this would have happened. Somewhere inside Snake, a voice spoke. "Hasn't this been enough for one life? You've fulfilled your duty. You fought more than enough battles. No one will fault you if you perish here. It's time for you to fade into the shadows of history, Solid Snake." But Snake wouldn't be able to forgive himself. If he died now, he'd die a captive of his own fate. Snake let out a deep roar from the bottom of his gut. He raised his operator to the sky and blindly fired until no bullets remained. "I'll show you," he shouted. "I'll make it to the source of my destiny." What? As the last vestiges of consciousness slipped away from Snake, the helicopter disappeared beyond the city. What about beyond the sky? Anyway, if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.